Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and yeah, we are not in Eastern Thanalan yet. I already have the Etherite for Eastern Thanalan because Camp Drybone, because I was there for my job quest. However, in case you don't have it, and of course you won't have a chocobo point there either, you can rent a chocobo, 80 gil for 10 minutes, and you don't need to walk. You can ride there. And once you're there, dismount, and that chocobo is gone, unfortunately. I am Isenbart, here to search for the missing folk, I take it. When Philly hasn't worked that an adventurer fitting your description would be along. She also wants us to be wary of Amal'ja. It seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now, I bear no official title in this camp, but the people here have come to look at me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victims safely return. Let us get right to it then. Philia names the Amal'ja culprit in all this. You do well to investigate them first. Much harm has been levied on these lands by Amal'ja hands. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the Church of Saint Dama, innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. The poor souls deserve a proper burial. I would see to the deed before mongrels catch their scent, but I know not if the Amal'ja still linger. Would you secure the remains for me? You will find them on the eastern road. 12 willing, you may even come to learn something of what the Amal'ja seek in this area. Okay, we're still where Amal'ja here? It's good to see you return. Were you able to secure the remains? 3 flowers. With the bodies given back proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. You've done a noble deed this day, I thank you. Now then, what of the Amal'ja? Did you see any? Surely such massive monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take their quarry unawares. Ah, so there were Amal'ja remaining after all. I feared as much. Their part in the lowborn disappearing is all but confirmed, but I sense there's more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amal'ja raiding party would not account for people going missing in this kinds of numbers. The total is too great, and the questions too many. It would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day, and even if it were among them, how would we best discover who may be implicit in these vanishings? What say we turn an eye to the common folk themselves? It may be among them that we find the reasons for these vanishings. 12 forbid it be so. There's a merchant by the name of Angast, who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people here better than anyone else. I'd wager he's at the inn, gruffing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write you a note to show him. Else he's not like to speak to you. Gods be damned, you that bloody adventurer who threatened me in Ulda. What the seven else do you want with me now? Right, the asshole in the town before we met Thamcred again. Dear friend, missing people, please. Here's Isenbad. Folk around here as wary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass wind nearby. Played them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. And if anything, they're even more timid than before. What with all the disappearances? You can go talk to them yourself if you don't believe me. Please, miss, just leave me be. I have nothing to say but this. I'll take who or whatever's been feeding off us slowfolk. What do you want with me? I don't know anything, I swear. Please don't kill me. Just as I told you, wasn't it? A whole lot of them are terrified. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they're simply up and moved on to a better place. This place isn't exactly costed a soul, if you know what I'm saying. Welcome back, Desiree. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from Ungest. Well, I never thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious belief. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, the clergy may know something of use. If you would know what the common folk to speak to their gods, we have no better place to ask than the Church of Saint Adama Landama. It is a small and humble church found to the northwest of here. And so long as you are headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? A morbid request, I grant you, but it must be borne to burial, and I trust no one more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Marquez. He tends the grave of the Lich Yard. He will tell you where a body is to be interred. Marquez? I'm Marquez, yes. A body, of course. There have been so many bodies of late. I apologize, miss. If you seek a place of burial, then there's an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. Here's the gravesite. So that is enough, right? So just lay it down? No? Okay, then let's dig it up. May they walk in False Realm. What? Missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Orson can. She has been kind to me. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why though. Pardon me. You will find Sister Orson within the church walls. I hear you've done us the service of burying a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isenbad when next you see him. You seek knowledge of missing drybone inhabitants? It is true, I am closer to the people than any other in the order. I confide in them and they in me. When they wish to speak to their keeper, Thal, I am the medium for which they do. Should I learn anything pertinent, I will be sure to share the information with you. I only wish Marquez would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep. Indeed, he seems to now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thamcred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have words with Marquez, and soon. Thamcred, huh? Thank you, Desiree. A burial is no easy thing, even when the departed is a stranger. Were you able to learn aught of a missing common folk? You've been keeping yourself rather busy of late, haven't you, Desiree? A pleasure, my dear Isambard. My name is Thamcred, and I share a passion with you and our mutual friend here for learning what has become of these missing persons and why. I too spoke with Angast, more times than I care to count. There seems to be some truth to this notion of a common folk speaking their secrets only to those in service to the gods. Prostrations, prayer, penance, abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession, the good sister Orson herself. Orson? She couldn't! Even the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend, and you would be wise to keep an eye on this rose. Still, the lich keeper Marquez, I'd swear to the 12 I've seen that face elsewhere before. Sister Orson, it cannot be, though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own, and it is not uncommon to see her speaking to the children, but no, it could not be she, could it? I grow wary of these suspicions. I know there's one child in particular that she's fond of. Pray seek out the boy, Desiree, and see if you cannot glean something from him about Orson's activity. Please help, Sister Orson went out on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here, about Thal and the Order and the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing and she went looking for it, but what if the monsters outside hurt her? Please find her. Careful with the zombies here. You're the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems my gratitude to you is yours yet again. You spoke with a child? Yes, well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given to him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. Sister Orson was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar. God's forfend, I will secure a room at the inn for her should she require any rest. Searching for the mementos of orphans and risking her own well-being in doing so, no less. Certainly not the dastardly deeds Thamcred would have us believe. Well, glad I reserved that in-room for Sister Orson. It seems she received greater injuries from her attackers when she initially led on. Thankfully, she's expected to make a full recovery. But now on to the matter at hand. Thamcred can looking for you once more. He left word that he will be waiting at the Amal'ja encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. Ah, there you are, Zosie. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard all about good Sister Orson. Isenbart said her wounds were serious. It would seem my suspicions about the poor Rose were misplaced. But false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. Whilst following Sister Orson near the Golden Bazaar, a band of Amal'ja caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment, but let us say I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This of course brings me to why I requested you, dear Desiree. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? And why do I do this alone? Queer leaflet. And apparently that was everything. And snuck out. Oh. A strange slip of parchment from at the Amal'ja encampment. This leaflet, see the wealth of knowledge to the hands of your children. It looks to be some sort of assembly to provide the poor with work. The lettering, though, atrocious, is it not? And these bits about Nalta seem somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the Order penned this. Pray take this to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let us see what Sister Orson makes of it. Okay, so, a religious text or something that is plain wrong? Bait? My savior comes again. To what do I owe the honor this day? What is this? Blasphemous! These are not our Order's teachings at all. This was not made by any true brother or sister of the Order. Of that, I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago the church was plagued by missing garments. Could someone be posing as a priest of the Order to deceive the people? The plot thickens, Desiree. Our culprit pretends to be a priest who lent credence to his deception. There's no doubt an irony in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider how to best handle it. For now, tell Isenbart what we have learned here. Posing as a priest. To think these troubling notions aside, it is gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again, Desiree. I shall keep my ears and eyes open, now more than ever. I'm afraid I have not seen any unusual activity, nor have any in this camp given me cause to doubt them. But unless we can identify the culprit, and soon, more innocents will fall victim. Do not despair just yet, my friend. An idea occurs to me. Our suspect has been posing as a priest, using leaflets bearing false promises to lure the poor. Let Desiree and me serve by posing as impoverished souls in need of succor. I dare to hope that this will get us answers we seek. It will be a dangerous undertaking, but you two are more than capable of looking after yourself. I am next to useless in a battle, but I can supply the garments for the disguise. These old tunics and slops should serve your needs, so long as you don't mind the smell of the stains. Be so, Sir Farrell. You have my thanks. Listen, so as to lay the foundation for a little ploy, we must make it widely known that more vagrants have arrived at camp and are desperate for coin. To this end, I want you to don the old garments Isenbart has lent us and beg for work around the camp. Before long, the false priest should catch wind and approach us. Okay, so now we go around and pretend to be poor souls looking for work. And you are? Never refugees by the look of you. The immortal flames have neither work nor coin for your like. Begone and see to it that you don't make a nuisance of yourself. I preach a teaching of Azima the Warden. Hast thou come to partake in the honey of her wisdom? Azima is the keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry. All is laid bare beneath the light of her divine countenance. Open thy heart to this light, needy child, and thou shalt want for naught till the end of days. Greetings, good madam. Is there aught I might assist you with? Oh, I don't believe there is. I'm afraid our wares are very expensive. Maybe you should rejoin your fellows out of the pond north of Sandgate. I was just about to get to a good part. Looking for work, you say? Sorry, don't have any openings. Now get out of here so I can finish my story. What is it? God's not again. Look, being poor doesn't give you right to pester whomever you like. Why don't you keep with your own kind out by that muddy pond of yours at Drybone? Muddy pond. Yeah? You have quite a knack for being a nuisance, Desiree. The camp has a buzz with talk of newly arrived vagrants. And though we were unable to attract our wayward aggressor, we were able to learn that the poor had to have a commune by the pond north of Sandgate, to the east of here. The eyes of your authorities do not reach that place. Rather ideal for spiriting away helpless souls. Let us go there and wait for the kindly priest to come and offer us aid and comfort. Needless to say, he will need to remain in disguise. A fine morning for catching false priests, wouldn't you say? You look absolutely smashing, Desiree. Positively dressed for deception. All that's left then is to wait for our quarry to appear. Oh, poor unfortunate souls. This is no way for man to live. No way at all. Who are you? What do you want? Be at ease, child, for I mean you no harm. I am a priest of the Order of Naltal, and I come to offer you succor. This leaflet bears the teachings of Nalt. Trust in them, and will surely set you free from the shackles of penury. A tempting offer, but I'm afraid I must decline. On account of that atrocious performance, you would have made it a god-awful, Mama Angest. What? How did you know? You bastards tricked me. Please don't hurt me. I was only doing it to protect my people. Is that so? To continue? Very well. I'm a man of a golden bazaar, raised there, if not born. Some moons ago the Amal'ja raids began. We would appear sudden as a sandstorm and plunder and pillage at will. Our defenders couldn't stand against them, few as they were. Everyone lived in fear. I wanted to save my people, but being a merchant is all I knew, and so I did the only thing that a merchant could. I approached the Amal'ja in hopes of brokering a deal. In return for sparing the Golden Bazaar, they made demands. Outrageous ones. Demands? And of what kind, pray tell? First of all, we wanted the schedule of crystal shipments from the Nanavan mines. For this, I bribed one of the workers to leak me the information. Next, they wanted me to bring them people, so I posed as a priest to lure in the vulnerable and give them over to the Amal'ja. I didn't have a choice. Protecting one's home is a noble thing, but at the cost of innocence? You could have sought the aid of the immortal flames, yet you did not. I suspect you're not telling me the full story. What made you sell out your own people? Speak. What did you say? That coin was good, I said. I could sell mole meat for a score of lifetimes, not see even a fraction of what the Amal'ja pay me. You sacrificed innocence so that you could line your own pockets? Words fail to express the contempt I feel for you. Spare me with this contempt. If you want to blame someone for the mess of words in, then blame yourself or the gods. Ah, not you again. Were you the one leaking the immortal flames patrol routes to the enemy as well? Spit it out. No, I know nothing about that, I swear. At this stage, I'm rather disinclined to believe aught that leaves your mouth. But no matter, there will be time enough to learn the truth. Desiree, be a dear and take word of these developments to Minfilia, would you? I shall prize everything I can out of this filth. The abductees are still somewhere out there. Our foremost priority is to rescue them. Okay, Western Thanalan. And since Vesper Bay doesn't have its own ether right, the nearest thing is Horizon. Minfilia, report. Welcome back, Desiree. I'm pleased that you and Thamcred have been getting along. I see, you've done well to uncover the truth. My thanks for the report. As Thamcred said, we must ascertain where the abducted were taken, and none but the Amal'ja know the answer. Suffice it to say, we will not willingly part with this information. I fear blood will be spilled before all is said and done. Okay, but I think this episode is long enough by now. I end it here. Until next time, I'm Mace and don't get lost.